Welcome into the Vitality Handbook. My name is Yao A. Owusu Jr., your resident Vitality Advisor. We have a great one for you today. We're gonna stay on theme. Check out last week was on mindset. Now we're talking about sleep. If you're a new subscriber to our channel, thank you. We love you. Welcome in. Take a view of our entire Vitality Network and all the playlists and channels that meet your needs and information that will help you become a more vital human being. Now let's get into the topic, sleep. Now this is a great one. Now this is the second on our totem pole of importance if we're talking about mindset, sleep, nutrition, physical recovery, and exercise. Why is sleep so important? Well, let's dive deep into why we sleep in general as human beings. There's many functions. I know what you're gonna say. Oh, we have to get a good night rest. It'll help us be lovely and bright and sunshine and flowers in the morning. Well, we want to think about three main things. So optimizing brain function, optimizing your immune function, and optimizing consolidating your memory. So that memory consolidation is where we'll start. So let's say you take a test, right? Or you're studying for a test, moreover. All that information that you study for, you're gonna have to store it in certain memory pockets or storage places in your mind, if you will, and the best way to do that is through subconscious programming. So when you're subconscious, having a dream, or when you're unconscious, you're sleeping and not really having a dream, that's when you consolidate these memory that you have throughout the day. So anything you're doing, as hard as you guys are working out there, if you want that work to not be in vain, you have to store it as memory. Whatever you do during the day, that's when sleep, memory consolidation plays a role. Now let's get into the immune function. All right. Now your immune system is your second brain. All right. We need your immune system to be healthy, especially nowadays with all the viruses and things going around, with all the trauma around the world, with all the stress around the world. You're going to need your immune system very strong. This is how we fight off a lot of diseases. Right. Now, if you want your immune system to be strong, you're going to need sleep, because different stages of sleep are going to feed different things in your immune system. Now, your immune system is what we call cellular nutrition or cellular function. You have to feed that those cells, right? And a good way to do that is through sleep. Third, let's talk about brain function. Now, brain fog. If you need focus, which I believe all of you do, right? This is not scripted. I'm not reading from a script, so I need to have a great memory, and I have to be able to run through this information, this content for you. So that focus is going to be super important. Now, formulating new ideas, critical thinking. We're on our phones all the day. If we don't even have to be down on our phones, but if you're in a brain fog, right, and we're in zombie mode, you're like, wow, I just drove 2 hours and I have no idea how I got here, or I just had a meeting and I have no idea what that meeting was about. This is all affected when we're talking about brain function, that brain fog. So anything that's going to uplift your cognitive awareness, right? Anything that's going to help your memory consolidation, and anything that's going to help your brain function, you really would say, man, yeah, I really want that. Well, that's what sleep is going to do for you, right? And that's, I would say, three main things of why we sleep in general. Because I would say most people might not understand that how much sleep affects all of those things, okay? Now, let's get into what we believe, or what I believe is the most important thing, 3 substrates for success when you're having sleep being optimized. Now, I call this sleep hygiene. We have dental hygiene, right? We have mental hygiene, right? We also have sleep hygiene. And if you're not hygienic, that means if you don't practice and manage and take care and maintain and scale your sleep function, you will lose it, use it or lose it. So the first thing is you have to make sure you know what your sleep quality is. Now you have Oura rings and Whoop watches and all this new AI and technology to help record some of the measurables of sleep, but you can just wake up in the morning, don't take that coffee, don't have that tea, don't have that caffeine, and by 11 a.m., how are you feeling? Are you hungry? Are you starving? Are you reaching for something? These are all signals of not having good quality sleep. So number 1 on the substrates for success for sleep hygiene, or optimizing that sleep hygiene, is to know your quality of sleep. How many times do you wake up? 2, 3, before, every time you have that interrupted sleep, you're breaking the cycle of those three functions. Immune functionality, optimizing that, brain functionality, optimizing that, and most of all, memory consolidation. You have to be able to recall the things that you studied and learned throughout the day, your experiences. You don't want to have a great experience 5 years ago, great vacation, and then with brain fog and not sleeping, you forget all of that. Now that experience you paid for and you probably wanted your whole life is gone. You can look at pictures, but having that recall in your mind to actually knowing and feeling and spelling that function, that experience that you did is going to be all the worthwhile of doing the experience in the first place. So knowing your sleep quality. Once you know if it's good, bad, excellent, non-existent, if you're not sleeping at all, burning at the midnight oil, then we know what our program needs to be. So we go to that second substrate for success, which is going to be our sleep environment. What is your sleep environment, right? Now, recently I've been testing this out, and every new place I've lived now, from in Los Angeles to New York to DC, your room feng shui. Which way does your headrest or your headbed, your bed rest lie? Where's your head? If you're in the north, so just think of the earth. If we're facing true north, right, then our circulatory system, our respiratory system can all flow. If we're flipped upside down, we live in a globe, right, and depending where you are in the world, you always want to be facing north so all of your systems can flush. If you have a newborn, which I had, I'm almost going to have another one, he would always move. And you notice this with babies, if you have some, they will always move to true north. And you're like, why are the babies moving around? They always like that one spot there. They're always going to where, and they know this naturally, of what's going to help them function the best. So which way are you arranging your headrest? Is your head facing where the light, when it comes in, going to hit your eyes? That's great, because you want to have that natural light as you wake up. Do you have blinders on? Do you have strange smells in your apartment, right? Controlling the smells that are in your apartment, that's your environment. What type of bed do you sleep on, right? How do you sleep? Do you sleep on your side? Do you sleep on your back? Do you sleep on your stomach? All right, do you sleep like this? So do you wake up like that, but you sleep like this? All of those actions are going to affect your quality of sleep. Your back's going to be hurting. My neck's going to be hurting because it's cramped. I have 3 pillows, 1 pillow, no pillow. You have to now identify your sleep environment to optimize you going to sleep when you want to, right? Being able to fall asleep naturally and staying asleep and having that quality of sleep sustained so you don't wake up every second. Lastly, it's going to be your protocol. What is your sleep protocol? What is your program? So we have a program for everything, right? You want to get smarter in engineering. You're going to go to engineering school or look up some engineering books and program yourself. You want to get smarter in making content. You're going to research that, right? So everything you do, you program yourself to optimize. Why wouldn't you do that in a natural thing that comes to all organic creatures, which is sleep, your circadian rhythm? How do you program for that? Now let's dive a little bit deeper into the actual programming of sleep. Okay, Yao, I have insomnia. I'm not a real good sleeper. I've never been a really good sleeper. That's like someone saying, I can't read, I haven't been a good reader, I've never been able to read. You have to program yourself with these things. You have to practice these things. So everyone has the opportunity to have better sleep. You might not have the best sleep of everybody. Yes, there might be some people that are genetically inclined to be able to be good sleepers, right? High level of melatonin production because they have a darker hue of melanin, right? So those things play a role. Looking into preparation, what is your plan? So how do you plan for these things to have that good quality of sleep? I'll give you an example of what I do. So I have a routine. All right, there goes Yao talking about routines. Routines are important. I liken this to my son, Adum, Prince Adum, having his routine to get him to sleep, reading him 3 books before he goes to bed, making sure he has a bath before he goes to bed, making sure he brushes his teeth before he goes to bed, making sure he doesn't eat things that are super hot and spicy, things that are a little easier to digest before he goes to sleep. That's what I would do for Adum. So that's a routine through his subconscious programming. So now it's a lot easier for him to go to sleep. He knows his routine. For me, my routine is making sure the family's good, making sure the wife's good, making sure Adum is good, and then brain dump. What I call a brain dump is everything I'm thinking about, anything that's going to keep me up at night, I let it go. Anything from arguments, from different conversations that were high-level conversations that were really intense that I have to really restore and store memory as I go to sleep. I let go of all of that, and then I just go into a little bit of meditation. Sometimes it takes me a longer time to start that preparation if I got into a fight or if I had some extraneous circumstances that will stop my brain from getting into that subconscious or unconscious type of set of my body so I can relax. So I always want to go through that routine. So brushing my teeth, okay? Making sure I have a meal before I go to bed. Not having too much water before I go to bed. Now, if you have too much water, you want to get up and use the restroom. So you want to have a good amount of water throughout the day, and that's that preparation we talk about, that plan. So hydration strategies, nutrition strategies, and then lastly, meditation. So meditation, I usually do meditation and stretch. So I'll stretch sometime for 45 minutes, an hour, and meditate before I go to bed so I can be in that mind state of relaxation, right? And that's going to help optimize my sleep quality, right? So what routine will you pick? What routine will you make? Let's give some, let's humanize it. Let's give you something to take back for joining us on this journey of optimizing our vitality. I want you to go home, and wherever you're watching this content, if you're at home, just do it now. I want you to write down a protocol for the day. How do you prepare yourself to sleep? When do you cut off stimulation? Having the TV right in front of your face, having a laptop right in front of your face, having a phone right in front of your face. All of that light that you're absorbing, especially the blue light that keeps us awake from all this technology, that is going to render it super hard for you to get into relaxation mode. So I want you to write down when you shut down. All right, so if I shut down, if I want to go to sleep at 10 p.m., I say I want to shut down at 8:30. That's when I want to start my routine of sleep preparation, right? Making sure my bed's good, make sure my bed's made. I like going in with a bed that's made instead of a bed that's not made. That's my preference. How you're sleeping, how many clothes you have on, what's your temperature. So write down when you want to start thinking about preparing yourself to go to bed and what will be your routine. Brushing your teeth, eating, brushing your hair, taking a shower, taking a cold shower, taking a hot shower. Experiment. Then once you have a plan for the day when you're going to shut down, then start talking about, start writing down what your plan is, what you can control right now to add it to your sleep routine for sleep preparation. Then I want you to look at your environment. All right. So yeah, I sleep right by the highway. I can't move my bed because my room is too small. So all right. So positioning yourself on your bed, just getting your phone, iPhone, whatever phone you have, put on the compass there, and if you have a smartphone, you want to have that, and then true north. Lay your head facing the true north area and see how you feel. Assess yourself, right? So making sure your environment, add some smells, natural smells, not those candles or plug-ins that are extremely toxic. Incense, natural smells, right? Lavender, you can have a humidifier. You can have something that can disperse different smells. Go on Amazon or whatever. All right, you can get that. So make sure you write down a list of what you're going to help your environment. And then lastly, your sleep quality. Not lastly, but really firstly. Wake up. See how you feel. Don't take that coffee. Don't have that tea. See how you feel. See if what you did yesterday or that night was helping promote good quality of sleep so you can be restored for that next day. Before 11 o'clock, Mr. Matthew Walker, he wrote the book, Why You Sleep, and big researcher all over the world, world renowned, so you can check him out. This is one of his followers. We're one of his followers that kind of look at his research, ton of research on why we sleep. And what he says is, if you wake up at 11 a.m. and you don't have any coffee, you don't have any tea, you don't have any stimulants to wake you up, and you're still sleepy, that's a good sign, a good indicator, a good assessment, a good test that your sleep quality is not that well. As always, guys, remember, you're always given the responsibility to kill or destroy your body. Choose wisely. Sleep. Let's optimize that.